Hi, Charles with SirBookSage here. I was planning on doing a sort of Saturday edition of a Friday Reads. It's actually Saturday morning, April 10th, 2021. But I got inspired while I was prepping my tea to actually kind of do a vlog day. I don't ever do these, so figured why not. And I think I'm going to grab my camera, which is Fujifilm X-T1, and my phone and my headphones, and go take a nice long photo walk while listening to a book. I think it's probably going to be Malazan today. I did just recently read One Native Life by Richard Wagamese. It's a memoir of his, and it's interesting because it's told in a series of vignettes throughout his life up to the point where he was writing the book. And I really liked the way it was presented. I actually listened to it on Audible, and the narrator did a really good job. And Richard was Indigenous Canadian, and who ended up growing up in like the white foster system. And a lot of it really is about identity and what that identity means for you. And he covers like his abuse he suffered and trauma, and then what addictions that led to in his life, and just his little moments growing up until he eventually finds his kind of way and reconnects back to his indigenous roots, and really embraces his actual culture there. And again, it's mainly, even though it's about his life, it's mainly about your identity and your search for your identity, and your relationship with your identity once you kind of figure out what that is. Because just realizing who you are is just really the beginning of your journey. How you relate to how you identify, I guess, is kind of an important thing, and the book kind of is about that in many ways. I really enjoyed it. Thanks to One Book, One Review, Webkey. She actually read it and reviewed it on her channel, and that's what piqued my interest. But anyway, I am going to finish my tea and then get going. Okay, so I'm back. It's Monday night. I did go out Saturday, did a nice long walk with my camera. But I decided for listening to Bookwise while I was walking around and filming and photographing, I ended up pulling up A Dance with Dragons. Now, when I was in the process of relocating from Western New York, like the Finger Lakes region, down here to Southeast Florida, little less than 3 years ago, I knew I'd be back and forth airports and stuff for like a month or two. So I started a first-time reread of A Song of Ice and Fire. I had only read the 5 books once, thoroughly enjoyed it, had every intention of reading it again. And there was a special reading project I want to do with A Song of Ice and Fire, but I wanted to do a second read-through of the books before I started that project. So I began rereading A Game of Thrones. And I read Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, and A Feast for Crows between whatever that was, let's say August 2018 and maybe September 2019. And then I started A Dance with Dragons in, I think, late October, and read maybe around 40 to 45% of it over the rest of 2019, those last couple of months. And then the pandemic hit, and I put that aside, went to other reading projects, and didn't touch it in 2020 at all. So I got inspired, you know, I really want to do that particular special reading project. So I have to finish this. So I picked it back up and just immediately sucked right back in. And when I got home, I listened to a few more chapters, and then my sister called. And phone conversations with my sister are multi-hour events. So Sunday, I sat down around noon and pulled it up on my ebook and an Audible, and I pretty much read and listened through the remainder of the book Sunday afternoon, and finished it just in time to go make dinner. And the first time around, A Feast for Crows was my favorite of the 5 books so far. And this time around, I think it's now a tie between Feast and Dance. The two of them, I think, stand equal, which isn't surprising because they were originally all parts of one novel that just grew to where it ended up being split up. And the Jon Snow chapters in A Dance with Dragons are just phenomenal. I mean, I remember them being really good, but I was just blown away just by how exceptional Jon's storyline is at this point. There's so much foreshadowing, way more foreshadowing in these 5 books than I realized. That was one of the things that really struck me when I started rereading A Game of Thrones a couple of years ago. Just how early on George was already laying the groundwork and foreshadowing some really major events. And one of the fun parts about this story is there's so many other things littered throughout, like in dreams and visions and things. Like, are these things that are yet to come? Are they just kind of red herrings that George is kind of playing with us? It's hard to tell, but that's the fun of this story. There's so much you can really deep dive and speculate and wonder and come up with all sorts of theories. So even though it's not finished yet and not anywhere near finished yet, I would still, if you haven't read it, I'd still highly recommend reading it anyway, because there's so much to explore in it that you'll keep yourself busy if you like that kind of stuff. If you like really getting into the nitty-gritty of the story and like try to figure out what you think is coming. That was really a lot of fun. And now I can start my special reading project of A Song of Ice and Fire, this is an idea I had the first time I finished Dance years ago. And because I read that in like a week when it came out. And I'm going to be reading just Arya Stark's chapters from A Game of Thrones all the way through, at this point, A Dance with Dragons. And when I'm done with just those, I'm going to then do that for Bran, and then for Jon, and then for Daenerys. I want to read just their stories, isolated by themselves, just to see how it reads, without, you coming back in and out of these stories, exploring others. I want to do just theirs, one at a time, just to see how it feels. It's something I've been curious about since the beginning. And now that I finished my reread, that's something I can start at my leisure and start down that fun reading path. But anyway, highly recommend reading them. And if you have read them once, highly recommend reading them again. I mean, there's so much you pick up on the second time around. And so many little things. And anyway, I could really... This is another set of stories I don't know why I haven't made 100 videos on, because I love this story. So there'll probably be more, particularly as I do that read through of just a character. I had intended originally to just do a weekend vlog, and it's now turned into I'm going to be vlogging throughout the week. So now I'm back to my dilemma of where I was at the start of the weekend. What am I going to read? Do I just start on the Arya chapters and just stay enveloped in A Song of Ice and Fire, or do I get back to what I'm supposed to be reading, which is Malazan, Vorkosigan, Harrington, and Dresden? I do have to pick one. I doubt I'll pick one tonight, but I think tomorrow I am going to pick one and then knock another one of those books in one of those series out of the way pretty quickly. Okay, I figured, you know what, since I'm doing a vlog this week, why not show you my kind of setup. I just got this in today. And sorry for the crappy audio, this is just onboard camera audio. Just got this today. Put it together, like the easiest piece of furniture to put together I've ever bought. And this is kind of what I see when I'm sitting down. Everything's kind of blown out right now. Let's see. There we go. I have my laptop. That's where my computer normally goes. Microphone. And up here, I have this Falcon Eyes RX8T. And I'm using an umbrella as a diffuser. So, I'm gonna just show that real quick since I just got the bookcase and got to put my books on it. Some of my photography lenses. Some books. I can't wait to reread Dune. And that's it. Hi. This is 1 week later, Charles. I've been editing the vlog and realized I never filmed an outro for it. So I figured let me just pop on real quick and film one real quick. And I did end up starting my Aria Song of Ice and Fire chapter read through, special reading project. I've read the first 4 chapters of A Game of Thrones. I have the final chapter, her final POV chapter to read. And then I'm thinking that I might just do a video per character of each book. So 5 books so far. There'll be, I guess, 5 Aria books, videos. And then the same for Bran and Jon and Daenerys and whoever else I might decide to do this read through with of. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to wrap it up. That was all that was mostly impromptu, a little look behind the scenes of my setup here. And little of what I do when I'm not working. I'm trying to get out and about with my camera and get over by the ocean and stuff and like take photos and film. And that's it. I am going to, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm going to finish editing this and get it uploaded and kind of just enjoy the rest of my night. I'm Charles, SirBookSage. Happy reading.